An emergency landing at McCarran this afternoon. The plane takes a beating, but the pilot and passengers are fine. We'll tell you what Reginald Denny had to say in his first televised interview since he was beaten during the LA riots.
We will have the very latest from Hawaii. A case of soda is going for $25 over there now. The Mirage has posted odds on the presidential election. We'll tell you who they favor. And the tax man may soon be after the Queen. We'll tell you about that on Eyewitness News coming up.
Finally, there are pumps that are as fashionable as they are comfortable. They're easy spirits, dress shoes with all the cushioning and support of athletic shoes. Now available in new styles and colors for fall. New Easy Spirit pumps. Looks like a pump, feels like a sneaker.
Call now for the store nearest you.
I have 2 daughters of my own and 47 private piano students. Like any mom, I want to get the most for my money. I used to buy name brands, but then my mother got me to try Vaughn's brands. You know, they're just as good and the price is a lot less. Why spend the extra money if I don't have to?
Try Vaughn's own brands. You'll save money and you'll get the quality of the national brands. Guaranteed or your money back.
You're watching Channel 8. And now, people you can count on. Gary Waddell, Paula Francis, Eric Randall, and Scott Higgins. This is Channel 8's Eyewitness News at 11.
Good evening. A Las Vegas teenager was arrested by police tonight for allegedly molesting 2 young girls he was babysitting. The victims are 3.5 years old. Police say the 15-year-old boy was their regular babysitter, but sometime last week the children told their mother some shocking news.
No, evidently sometime during the past week he was giving the children a bath, and one of the younger children said that he had gotten in the bathtub with them. The children are young, they're 3 years of age. We don't really know at this time exactly what took place.
The children's parents confronted the boy. He denied the charges and later left a suicide note saying he had been wrongfully accused. Police found him tonight at a grocery store on Rancho and Craig. Parents of the alleged victims are not pressing charges. They say he's a family friend and they want him to get help instead of going to jail.
Residents of the Green Valley area of Henderson should be on the alert. A serial rapist may be back. A number of women were raped and robbed in the area 10 months ago. Now a man fitting the description has committed 2 more rapes, both of them over the weekend. Both of the women woke up to find the man in their bedrooms. These are composite drawings of the rapist from last year. He and the man who committed these latest attacks are described as white, in his 20s, between 6 foot and 6'3", with wavy hair. Henderson police are warning women to be on the alert and to take extra precautions.
Criminals don't just strike on city turf, they also attack our children on college and university campuses. A new federal law requires colleges and universities to provide students and parents with statistics on campus crime. The UNLV student handbook shows no reported murders on campus between 1989 and 91, but the records do show 2 rapes, more than 500 cases of larceny, and 300 burglaries. The community college system reports very little crime on its campuses, but some critics are skeptical about all of the figures and say many campus crimes go unreported.
Nobody was injured in a spectacular emergency landing at McCarran this afternoon. A small private plane on a flight from Lake Tahoe had troubles with its landing gear. The gear apparently wasn't locked and the nose wheel collapsed as the plane touched down. The plane then skidded down the runway while emergency crews rushed to the scene.
We've been pretty fortunate here at McCarran. We have very few of these types of incidents, but given the number of operations that we have here, 16th busiest in the nation and growing, these things happen every now and then. Our emergency crews, fortunately, were right on the scene very quickly, and everybody's safe and happy all around.
The runway, one of McCarran's main east-west runways, was closed down for about an hour and a half. It is open tonight. Air traffic, we are told, is moving normally. The head of the parents group Wake Up is waiting for word on how the Clark County School District plans to return West Las Vegas children to neighborhood schools. Marzette Lewis, the organizer of the recent boycott against busing in public schools, says she and Superintendent of Schools Brian Cram rehashed some of the issues that prompted the two-week-long protest. Both agreed tonight their first priority is to return students in kindergarten through third grade to neighborhood schools as soon as possible. Dr. Cram has promised to present by September 16th what he calls a flow chart of how and when all this might be accomplished. The plan would have to be approved by the school board.
The latest figures show Nevada has the second highest rate of cancer deaths in the country, and the rate in Clark County is double the national average. Health experts blame that alarming distinction on smoking. Smoke-filled casinos and businesses are a major culprit, they say, according to the Cancer Society, which says secondhand smoke is often deadly. Silver City is the only smoke-free casino in town, but the idea has not gone over well with smokers. Health experts say the high cancer rates will continue until more people decide to stop smoking.
Coming up, you may be used to punching the buttons on your favorite ATM, but you could run into some problems this weekend. We'll let you in on the story.
And Reginald Denny speaks out for the first time on national television tonight. We'll hear from him. Plus, there may be some light at the end of the tunnel for Hurricane Iniki victims. More on that when we come back.
What do you say? What do you say?
All my friends say I repeat things. I don't think I repeat things, but all my friends say I do. Like I come to Burger King for lunch, and I say, what can I get for $2 for lunch? And she says I can get 2 burgers and 2 fries for $2. I said 2 burgers and 2 fries for $2, and she says I just said that. I mean, Burger King is the only place to get flame broiled burgers cooked over a flame and fixed just the way I like it. I said thank you very much. She said I just said that. I'm really gonna enjoy this lunch. Really enjoy it.
Your way, right away at Burger King now.
Problems can be solved faster when they connect first with the Centel First Source phone book. Your phone company's only yellow pages. The Centel First Source phone book, where people connect.
Some find it sexy, others think it's unbearable. On the next Joan Rivers, what's it like going through life absolutely bald?
Joan Rivers tomorrow at 9 on Channel 8. At 6 o'clock, only one news team takes the time to tell the stories that make a difference in your life. Channel 8's exclusive 8 on Your Side segment features stories on the latest medical breakthroughs and consumer tips that can save you money. When the news matters to you, watch Channel 8's Eyewitness News at 6. People you can count on.
Hello, I'm Charlotte Evans.
And I'm Margaret Ray, inviting you to join us tomorrow morning at 6 for Eyewitness News This Morning.
We'll have the latest on Hurricane Iniki, and we'll let you know how cleanup efforts are going and the latest damage estimates.
That and more coming up at 6.
Life on Hawaii's Kauai Island is beginning to get back to normal tonight. The island was devastated by Hurricane Iniki on Friday. Tonight, some phone service is back and the water and electricity are coming on little by little. Harvey Levin has the very latest from Kauai. Got it.
Willy Willy Harbor on the south side of Kauai is home to many residents. Almost without exception, Hurricane Iniki devastated their lives.
We crawled out of the hatch, went down the white line, right there, into the water. There was another boat here. They've moved some of the boats.
So you went underwater?
No, we had, believe it or not, we had our Stearns life vests on, and they kept us up.
Nothing was spared on this side of the island. This cow stands stunned in the ruins of a small ranch. From the air, the scope of the disaster is evident. Although aerial views show the dimensions of this disaster, to understand the full impact of a hurricane, you have to look at individual sites like this Budweiser plant. It was built 3 years ago. It is completely demolished by Hurricane Iniki. Have people, this seems to be a sitting duck, have people tried to loot this plant?
Yes, it is, yeah. But we're trying to avoid it.
You what?
Trying to avoid people getting into that building.
So you've been successful in at least keeping some of the merchandise safe?
Yeah.
But the building's destroyed, obviously. As the tourists begin leaving this island, the residents are left trying to pick up the pieces of their lives.
We fared pretty well. We were in a shelter north of Kapa'a, and it was 400 people in the shelter, and everybody did really well in the shelter.
You're carrying a bag of groceries. Yeah. How long did it take you to get this?
We were in line about 2 hours this morning, which is a pretty small line. We got there early. The line was probably 200 yards after us.
Speaking of groceries, the mayor of Kauai is asking the governor of that state to take action to stop price gouging in the wake of the hurricane. There are reports that cases of soft drinks are selling for as much as $25, and 2 10-pound bags of ice are going for $50.
It's been 4.5 months since 2 words, not guilty, brought the city of Los Angeles to its knees. It all started with the videotaped beating of Rodney King. That led to the trial of 4 officers accused of attacking King. On the afternoon of April 29th, a state jury found all 4 not guilty of assault. Violence exploded throughout South Central LA, and another videotaped beating became a piece of unfortunate American history. During the riots, Reginald Denny found himself in the wrong place at the wrong time, viciously attacked by some angry residents. Denny suffered almost 100 facial fractures in the assault that played out all over the country on live television. Good Samaritans who saw the violence on TV rushed to the intersection where Denny had been beaten and took him to the hospital. At first, doctors didn't think he was going to make it, and Denny himself spent 4 days in a coma before coming to. He told Inside Edition earlier tonight that it was his 8-year-old daughter who helped him pull through.
I remember on a couple of occasions, it was kind of sad because she would just kiss my hand because, you know, I wanted her to kiss me like on the cheek or something, but she'd say, "No, Dad, I can't kiss you there because you got too many tubes, you know, in her way because I had stuff coming off me." So she didn't want to get close to my face, and so she would kiss me on the hand. And it's, you know, when you look over and see, you know, for those who have kids, when you see your little one standing there, it really does something to you.
Makes you want to pull through all the more?
Oh, yeah, because, hey, you know, I didn't want to leave her with some sort of, you know, this is the end. I couldn't imagine that, you know.
Did you ever think that maybe he was going to die?
Yeah, the first time, because my mom called the hospital, and she said they don't know how he's doing yet.
And what did you think?
I thought I wouldn't have my dad anymore, but I have him now.
There are now rumors floating around LA that Denny yelled out some racial slurs, inciting that now infamous beating. But Denny told reporter Bonnie Strauss that it's not within his being to do something like that. The 4 officers acquitted on state charges in the King beating still face federal charges.
UNLV police are trying to find out who printed up and sold thousands of counterfeit tickets to this weekend's Chavez Camacho fight at the Thomas & Mack. Security officers at the fight confiscated about 50 phony tickets, but say there were a lot more of them that were sold, some of them for as much as $700 each. Some people came all the way from Mexico to see the fight and were turned away at the door because their tickets were counterfeit.
What a disappointment. There will be big changes at 100 local banks this week. We'll tell you if yours will be affected after this.
And we'll also tell you who the odds makers are favoring to win the presidential election. Stay with us.
You don't know how magnificent U.S. prime beef can be till you've had Ruth's Chris Extraordinary Corn-Fed Beef, served sizzling. Dining at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse is a whole new experience. So come hungry for U.S. prime beef like you've never tasted before. Only at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, home of serious steaks.
Alcoholism, the warning signs. Drinks to relieve tension, lies about drinking, performs poorly at work, avoids family and friends, suffers memory lapses, wants to drink alone, loses control. Don't check them all off before you find help. Charter is here 24 hours a day, every day. If you don't get help at Charter, please get help somewhere.
Mountain Diagnostics announces a revolutionary development, MRI angiography. It is an excellent screening study for many arteries and veins and helps detect blockages, narrowing, or other problems without the discomfort of dye injection angiograms. The patient simply relaxes in the MRI and the machine does the rest. MRI angiography, less distress for screening studies. Exclusively at Mountain Diagnostics, 2 blocks from the I-15 Charleston exit on Shadow Lane.
This Friday, more than 100 Nevada banks will change hands in the biggest bank deal ever in the state's history. It's all part of the purchase of Valley Bank by Bank of America. As Don Hudson reports, the deal is going to affect thousands of customers, and for some, there may be a little confusion.
Hi, how are you? Okay.
A banking transaction like no other in Nevada is about to take place. For starters, 72 Valley Bank branches like this one and 17 Security Pacific banks are becoming part of Bank of America. The banks have already started the transition by mailing out notices to customers. The official changeover happens Friday. Valley Bank officials say their customers' money is safe and they don't need to worry about the transition.
They really don't have to do anything. Receive their new checks, their new check guarantee cards, ATM cards, and move forward as the new Bank of America Nevada.
Howell says for the most part, change will be cosmetic. He says the new sign going up on the downtown Valley Bank office is a perfect example of how little will actually change. However, some banks will be swept away with the deal. 4 Security Pacific banks and 1 Valley Bank will close for good. Bank deal got started when federal regulators told the Bank of America it had to sell off some of its branches to avoid becoming a monopoly. Well, that's just what Bank of America did. It sold 29 branches, including this one, to U.S. Bank. Then it took over the Valley Bank branches, a give and take that's getting mixed reaction from Bank of America customers.
The day that I opened my account here, approximately a month ago, they informed me that they were transferring or changing their name to U.S. Bank. I wasn't at the time certain to what effect that would have on my account, but it seemed a good idea to go with a much more established bank like Citibank.
I'm going to stay with this bank because it's very convenient and it's close to my business.
Each bank customer will have to decide what he or she will do about their accounts. But bank officials want to remind customers the institutions involved are more or less changing names, and few, if any, services will actually be interrupted during the transition. Don Hudson, Eyewitness News 8.
If you have any questions about just how this merger will affect you, you should ask your bank, and it would probably be best to do it before Friday.
Good suggestion. Vice President Dan Quayle campaigned today in Boise, Idaho. He spoke about his tie with the state.
Idaho and I have a lot in common. We're both famous for the potato.
Quayle also said that he plans on watching next week's season premiere of Murphy Brown. In that issue, the fictional TV newswoman is supposed to get him back for his comments. Quayle insists he never criticized single motherhood and that his grandmother once was a single mother.
If you think you know who will win the race for president this election, you might want to give the Mirage a call. The casino sportsbook is taking predictions on who the public thinks will win, Mr. Bush or Mr. Clinton. Can't actually take bets. That wouldn't be legal. Hotel executives, though, thought this would be a good barometer of just how the race is going. At this point, Bill Clinton is 2.5 to 1, the favorite. But predictions are that the race will get tighter.
I think the odds will go higher. Naturally, a few things can happen in Bush's favor in the next few weeks. The economy has to turn around drastically in order for him to have a chance to win this election. If he doesn't, I can see this going as high as 3 and 4 to 1, Clinton being the favorite.
Even though this whole thing is just for fun, Vaccaro says political analysts from around the country are calling him to find out just who's ahead. He says Clinton may have the lead right now, but like sporting events, strange things can happen in an election. You said
Politics usually does.
Politics, a day is a lifetime, too. So.
Well, what's happening weather-wise?
Happening weather-wise, a few breezes blowing, and not necessarily winds of change per se, but winds of weather, let's put it that way. Better than winds of war, I guess. Storm system heading off the coast, and we're going to see a few breezes from it. Otherwise, looking pretty good. We'll have the complete weather picture up next.
Connie's business may be growing, but she still wants the best possible and most affordable health insurance for her employees. And when the Franklins looked for a low-cost Medicare supplement, they found one with a company they've trusted for years. And Kathy was able to choose her doctor from the health plan with one of the largest selections of physicians in the state. For over 20 years, Nevada has chosen Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Good choice. Spellbound perfume from Estee Lauder. Introducing the Spellbound Body Collection. And now with any Spellbound purchase, receive this free full-size 5-ounce body cream. This exclusive offer is yours at Broadway Southwest.
And now, a special announcement from Vegas Chips. Due to the recent events in the news, we feel a message must be made perfectly clear to the public. Don't panic, please. We have plenty of Vegas chips in all flavors available for you in virtually every supermarket and convenience store in Las Vegas. Commandeering our trucks will only delay service to stores, and that's not fair to others. Oh, and by the way, our new slogan is, you gotta hold 'em, not hold 'em up.
Eric Randall is here. A little wind blew in over the weekend. May stick around, huh?
That is right. Going to stick around, as a matter of fact. You've got a little bit breezy at times. Today it looks like it may even get a little breezier over the next few days. So we'll get a little dust blowing at times around the Las Vegas Valley. Other than that, though, it's looking really good out there as we've had some nice sunny skies and some nice, actually warmer than usual temperatures like today, for instance. Ooh, high 98 degrees. We were 3 above our normal high for today. The overnight low was 73. And once again, that was above not only the high, but above the low as well. Pollution index was in the good category. And the nice clear skies that we had earlier today continue at this hour. Yes, they do indeed. Downtown Las Vegas reporting 84 degrees, the same for Henderson, North Las Vegas, Nellis Air Force Base, and Boulder City tied at 81. 83 for Sunrise Manor and Paradise Valley. Spring Valley, 80 degrees, and it's 50. Up at Mount Charleston at the airport, 82, humidity 18%, the barometer 29, 78 on the rise, and the wind from the southwest at 12 miles per hour. The high temperatures today were definitely on the warm side. Once again, Laughlin hit the hot spot in the state with 105 degrees, 92 for Pahrump, 91 at Mercury, Tonopah, and Reno tied with 82 degrees. Ely had a high of 80, and the Caliente topped that at 86. And once again, we've seen the orange tomorrow's predicted high temperatures, and not a lot of change is expected. Speaking of not a lot of change, we haven't seen much into the late night hours. Clear skies have continued down around our way throughout most of the day. We had a few speckles of clouds pop up at times. Most of the clouds that we did see were over the northern part of Nevada in advance of a large band of clouds moving through the northwest, continuing on into the northern Rockies as well. Those clouds associated with an upper level low pressure system that is off the coast of Northern California, still sitting pretty far out there, but it's going to move farther to the east over the next couple of days and should move into Northern California over the next 2 days. It's still going to continue to produce a pretty dry southwesterly flow across Nevada, which means mostly sunny skies for us with maybe a few high clouds at times drifting over our skies. But the one thing that we will see from the system is a little increase in southwesterly winds in advance of this system. Winds will start to pick up to about 25 miles per hour times by tomorrow afternoon, and then we'll continue to see some breezy conditions right on into tomorrow night and continuing into Wednesday as well. A little bit of rain associated with that system over the northwest, not much. Some light precipitation stretched out now from Washington into, actually Oregon, into northern portions of the Rockies. For the most part, it is kind of a dry night across the United States this evening. Still getting some heavy rain around parts of Iowa. If you saw earlier today at 6 o'clock, and gee gosh, we hope you did. You saw the rain starting to develop in that area. They did have some severe thunderstorm watches out for parts of Iowa down into northern Missouri. Those have been canceled, but they're still getting some heavy rain in that area. Heavy rain also off the coast of Florida and the eastern Gulf Coast region. Otherwise, it's a pretty calm night around the United States this evening. For us, great evening is in store. It's going to continue to be fair through tonight. Lows will be around 70. Winds from the southwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, but yeah, a little breezy. Highs, no change from today, upper 90s. And winds in the southwest, 15 to 25 miles per hour. Once again, that should be by tomorrow afternoon, and they're going to stay breezy into tomorrow night. Otherwise, pretty much more of the same thing in store. We may see some high clouds in and out. Mostly sunny skies will continue in breezy conditions starting tomorrow afternoon and staying with us into Wednesday. Highs also will be the upper 90s into Wednesday as well. Gary?
Okay, thanks, Eric. Dave McCann is here on a Monday night with all the sports.
Thank you. Monday Night Football. The Stars have a new owner, and the Rocket, the man known for returning kickoffs, kicks himself into trouble up in the Great White North. Highlights coming up next.
The 1992 Lincoln Town Car and Continental are the only two American-made luxury cars providing standard dual airbags and anti-lock brakes. So think smart. Think safe. Think Lincoln. Buy smart at your Lincoln Mercury dealer now.
From the very beginning, RE/MAX set out to attract real estate's most experienced salespeople. That's just what we've done. Today, across North America, RE/MAX sales associates average twice as much experience as other agents and 3 times as many sales. Find out what experience can do for you. Call RE/MAX. It's the experience.
There are lots of firsts in life where First Interstate Bank just can't help you. But there are firsts where First Interstate can be a big help, like helping you fulfill a dream. Then we'll do everything possible to make it come true. And because there's so many times when no one can help you, when it comes to banking, come to First Interstate Bank, and we'll go out of our way to help you, as long as we can.
The exotic resort of your dreams, custom built in your own backyard. A private lagoon, a playful waterfall, a step beyond the ordinary. Pools for discriminating tastes. Royal Pools, 256-7665, 256-POOL.
If you're looking for beautiful jewelry, shop the Jewelers. If you're looking for high quality at low prices, shop the Jewelers.
Now, take advantage of a special offer. Spend as little as $50 at the Jewelers, and this EasyCom beeper is yours free.
The Jewelers at these 4 convenient locations.
Welcome back, everyone. It was a great night at the Dog Pound. Monday Night Football takes us to Cleveland, Ohio, where regular season for the Dolphins finally began. First quarter, Dan Marino and Mark Duper get together. We've seen it before. We'll see it again. Dolphins build a 20-3 lead, but you can't take a bone out of the doghouse without a fight. Fourth quarter, David Brandon picks up a Mark Higgs fumble. He takes it in for the touchdown. There he goes. Suddenly it's 2017. Cleveland believing they can do it. And they're not done either. Bernie Kosar and former Giant Mark Bavaro hook up. Bavaro is going to get the ball, and then he's going to go end over end into the end zone. Browns lead at 23-20 with 1:18 to play. Not enough time for some, too much for Dan Marino. He gets his team down the field and into the end zone. 7 seconds left to play. The Dolphins get out of Cleveland with a 27-23 victory. It's one of those great baseball nights when New York plays at Chicago and Chicago at New York. Let's start with New York and Chicago. Cubs and Mets in a slugfest at Wrigley Field. In the 5th, Andre Dawson takes a whack at a Brett Saberhagen pitch. That apple's out of the orchard. 5-0 Cubs. Mets tie it in the 6th, but Derek May will send another shot out. It's 6-5 Chicago. Would the scoring end? No. Mets come back and win it 10-8. Now let's check out Chicago and New York. A full moon over Yankee Stadium means one thing: a fight on the field. Former Cub George Bell not happy with the pitch, and the mess begins. White Sox and pinstripes have never really mixed well, but you can wear anything in New York. Yankee coach Frank Howard's going to come out and get involved with Taco Bell. Why don't you step outside, young man? Earlier in the game, once this mess gets over, we step back earlier in the game. New York sent back-to-back shots out beyond right field, the latter coming from Mike Stanley. But Chicago took the lead in the 3rd and then held on to win it. You could say they were the worm in the Big Apple tonight, 8-6. Well, up in Cleveland, Indians and Blue Jays getting together. Glenn Allen Hill, yeah, some trouble running the bases. Looked like the landing out at McCarran today. Everybody okay. Base running is a lot easier when you take the pressure off. That's what Hill does in the 3rd. And the Indians get the win up north, 2-1. Cleveland is a half game out of 4th place in the East. At Boston, the Blue Jays loss gave Milwaukee a chance to pick up a full game in the AL East. First inning, Paul Molitor gets the Brew Crew on the board. His RBI puts Milwaukee up 1-0. Later in the inning, Robin Yount bloops a shot beyond second. Darrell Hamilton comes in to score. It wouldn't get any better for Boston. The Brewers win it 6-0. Milwaukee is now 5 back of Toronto. Other scores for you tonight. Baltimore, yeah, it was nifty. Baltimore over Kansas City. The Oakland A's beat Minnesota by 1 in the National League. It was Philadelphia over Montreal. Houston beat San Francisco. Pittsburgh won better than St. Louis. The Dodgers beat the Padres 5-4 in 11 innings. 2 California businessmen bought the Las Vegas Stars today. Henry and Ken Stickney put out about $6 million or so, likely the highest purchase in minor league history. Last night the Stars got beat 23-1. Not what its new owners wanted to see, but baseball goes on.
it wasn't an omen, but no, I think that that's the beauty of minor league baseball. You can't control the product on the field, but it certainly is a lot of fun. And every year, hope springs eternal out there in the ballpark. And I think we're going to have a terrific team next year. It's going to have a lot of quality players coming up from Wichita, and I'm really optimistic about 1993 and beyond.
Rocket Ismail, the Notre Dame star, blew a fuse Sunday and may now find himself suspended from the Canadian Football League. They're taking on Calgary here. Ismail kicks a couple players in the head. CFL officials will decide later in the week whether or not to suspend the Rocket. The fallout of such behavior will certainly be interesting to see. UCLA lost its quarterback today. Wayne Cook is out for the season with torn ligaments. A redshirt freshman will start against BYU this week. San Diego State cracked into the AP Top 25 this week, something they haven't done for 15 years. Marshall Faulk's 299-yard rushing performance against BYU last week pushed the Aztecs onto the national scene. Faulk and the Heisman could very soon become synonymous. And that's a look at sports.
He's amazing.
Yes.
Thanks. When Eyewitness News continues, we will tell you why the Queen of England may soon be taking home a little less in her royal paycheck.
And the story of a little kangaroo that lost his way. He was found wandering around in Oregon. Stay with us.
Of all the ways you can furnish your home, one of the most beautiful ways is with Anderson feature windows and patio doors. Elegant designs bring the warmth of tradition, the comfort of nature. Ordinary furnishings create a look. Anderson windows create an experience.
High Bar Incorporated.
Gosh, I have everything I need for my house.
Come on, are you sure? Because during Mervin's home sale, everything's on sale at unbelievable prices.
Maybe a couple of towels.
Only a couple? Caress cotton towels are just $2.99. In fact, all Mervin's towels are on sale.
I could use some new sheets.
Caress sheet sets in 6 patterns are 50% off.
Pillows, blankets, rugs. And don't even get me started on the kitchen.
Get started at Mervin's. If it's in our home store, it's on sale now.
The Dodge Factory Authorized Clearance. Get up to $31.83 total savings on Dakota.
Put a new Dodge in your garage.
Dakota 4x4 Club Cab, four-wheelers pickup of the year.
Put a new Dodge in your garage.
With an available new Magnum V8, it can out-haul, out-tow any comparable Ford, Chevy, or import compact.
Put a new Dodge in your garage.
See your Southern Nevada Dodge dealer.
The royal scandals over in Britain have no doubt hurt the Queen's pride. Now they may hit her pocketbook as well. Rick Salinger has the story.
She may very well be the richest woman in the world, but Queen Elizabeth pays no taxes. Her fortune is estimated at nearly $12 billion.
Only in 1971, when there was a parliamentary inquiry into the royal finances, did in fact the government admit that the Queen had this tax exemption, and this caused considerable shock.
Recent polls show 90% of those surveyed believe the Queen should pay taxes.
Certainly. We have to pay taxes.
I just think that because everybody else has to pay taxes, the royal family should pay too.
The so-called civil list calls for the Queen to receive more than $15 million a year. Her mother just over $1 million. Her son, Prince Andrew, nearly $500,000. Others on the list include the Duke of Edinburgh, the Queen's husband, her son, Prince Edward, daughter, Princess Anne, sister, Princess Margaret, and cousin, Princess Alice. Few doubt the monarchy will survive, but royal watchers are calling these months the greatest crisis in the Queen's 40-year reign. Rick Salinger, London.
Here in Las Vegas, we tend to find some interesting things in our backyards from time to time, an occasional lizard, maybe a scorpion, but how about a kangaroo? Well, a kangaroo was exactly what one neighborhood in Portland, Oregon discovered over the weekend. Baby kangaroo was seen by many as he bounced from one backyard to another. Authorities had a tough time lassoing the feisty kangaroo, but they finally managed to settle it down.
Our dog was chasing this kangaroo in circles around the backyard. And just as I got there, the policemen and some of the neighbors were in the backyard, and they were lassoing it. And they put it in like a little cage, and the cage was just bouncing all over the place after they closed the door.
Residents in the area were surprised over the whole ordeal, and authorities have no explanation of just who the kangaroo is, where he came from, or why he decided to roam through everybody's backyard.
Must have jumped all the way.
Australia.
Feisty little guy. You see the cage jumping
first
there.
Big jump. Program note tonight, you will not see any of Channel 8's late night lineup. We will be going off the air in just a couple of minutes, so our engineers can work on our transmitters.
But we will be back tomorrow. Have a good evening, everyone.